Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Everyone loves the clap. Everyone laughs after the clap.
It's so good.
Welcome back to the Into Deep podcast. I'm excited to introduce my guest today, Sara McNelis.
Yes,
Sarah,
with no H.
With no H.
Yes.
I got grilled for that, for putting a H in the end there.
Yes.
She's a human behaviour practitioner, manifestation mentor, coach with over 16 years experience in the game,
Yeah.
and owner of Total Conditioning.
Yeah.
Very reputable gym in Sydney's Inner West, which I'd heard of a long time ago.
I know. I've had it for 10 years. Very grateful.
Wow. So nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you so much for jumping on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful.
Okay. So we go deep real quick here on the show, like
Of
we were talking
course.
off camera.
Let's roll.
So I want you to tell the people in your own words, who is Sara McNelis?
I love this question. And I love that you sent it to me, by the way, everyone. He sent it to me previously. And it's funny, I was really thinking about it and I was like, I'm a mom, I'm a business owner, and I'm a fitness person. But really, you know what? I'm just a super passionate girl that is here to serve the world. And I've been put on this planet to serve through health, fitness, and through the power of manifestation.
Okay.
So that's all I am.
Okay. I love that. And I love how people I've asked this question. This is I think my 15th or 16th episode, and I'm not 100% sure how I'd answer that. So it's a funny one. But why don't you tell me, what exactly is a human behavior practitioner and a manifestation coach?
Well, manifesting is, we'll go into that because I really hope that I get to explain, my 4 steps to manifest, because it really does change people's lives. But the thing is with manifesting, what you think and how you change yourself and, clarity and all these beautiful things that, you can use to manifest. And you can manifest absolutely anything that you desire. But if you haven't integrated your subconscious, then yes, you will manifest, but it'll probably disappear. And that's what most people are doing. So the human behavior, and that's what kind of sets me apart from other manifestation coaches, is because I study human behavior. So human behavior is, all the childhood traumas, your wounds and your conditioning. It's reprogramming and integrating those parts of you and healing those parts, first becoming aware of those parts of you, healing and integrating those parts of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. So how did you land to becoming a manifestation coach? Because I know you've been in the fitness industry for a long time. You mentioned you've owned gyms for over 16 years.
Yeah.
How did you sort of mold into this new version of manifestation coach coming from the fitness industry?
Yes. Well, I have been manifesting, oh my gosh, since The Secret. Do you remember The Secret? Because we're kind of the same age.
Yes, I do remember The Secret.
Yeah.
Do you know John DeMartini?
Yes, of
Yes.
course. I did his course.
So did I. Breakfast the Experience?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely loved it. And the thing about manifestation that people get wrong is, I think it's the story from The Secret. John DeMartini actually tells it about people. They watch The Secret.
Yes.
Then they go and they write, I want to win $1 million, and then they're just waiting for $1 million to come
100%.
into that. They manifest $1 million check. Yeah. So they're waiting for $1 million check to appear in the mail. It doesn't come, right? So they're obviously doing it all wrong. So sorry, I kind of took over that. You were talking about The Secret?
No, it's exactly what I was about to say. So I've been manifesting since The Secret, was born or unveiled. And that was, oh my gosh, over 25 years ago, I think. So I've been manifesting since then. But then it came to must have been about 4 years ago, and I was deeply unhappy. I was, in a trauma bond relationship. I was feeling uninspired, unmotivated when it comes to my work. And I've always loved what I've done, and I've always found, that was my purpose and passion, and where most of my happiness lies within, serving others through the fitness industry and through, owning a gym. And I was really kind of unmotivated, and I thought, something needs to change in my life because I can't keep living like this. Because I even remember waking up one morning going, what's the point of getting out of bed? I was that deeply stuck and unhappy. And then one day I decided to go and do a breathwork course. No problems. I decided to go and do a breathwork course, and, because I've always been into personal development. And I was watching these two boys who I'm actually friends with today. I was watching these two boys facilitate this breath work. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I want to do what they're doing. Not the breath work component, but I want to facilitate a group of people in this kind of a field. And it just kind of motivated me and then put me on a path which led me to become a manifestation mentor. And I just know this is where I'm meant to be. This is my future. I'm the next Gabby Bernstein. I just can see my whole future. And I love it so much. And I'm so passionate about manifesting because, and also the great thing these days is, you know, it used to be so woo-woo. And people would be like, oh, manifesting is so woo-woo. But now you have big people like Joe Dispenza and, you know, DeMartini and all these doctors and scientists and researchers have come out and showed that the science behind it, it's actually real.
Yeah, I fully and with my last guest, we were both laughing because I have a very sort of evidence science-based mind. I'm kind of half woo-woo, half evidence-based.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm fascinated with how manifestation works. I have manifested some things into my life that I feel like it's too spooky to be not real. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I think it is a scientific thing, right? Because when you focus on something and when you focus on something that you want so badly, you've heard of the red car theory, right?
Tell me.
So you say all of a sudden you want to buy a red car. You start seeing red cars.
Oh,
everywhere,
yes,
right?
yes.
So whatever you focus on, that's where your energy goes,
Yes.
right? So if you are embodying, you know, this new person that you want to become, you start behaving like this person, right? You
Yeah.
think about what the identity looks like to be that certain person, and then you start living out the identity as well. So
Yeah.
I think, and then like you said, Joe Dispenza is doing some seriously big work in the field. I think he's doing so much. He just released a documentary on the science side.
I
What
went
he's been doing.
to Switzerland, was it last year or the year before? Anyway, I went to Switzerland 2 years ago to study under him.
Oh, did he do his like one of the retreats?
Yeah.
I really want to do one of those.
Because I was like, okay, I was, you know, had opened my practice and I was serving and I really loved it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go and learn the actual science. I'm going to go to the live event. And it's funny because we were immersed in this big event, you know, that went for, you know, 12 hours a day and whatnot. And when it come to the science, you know, modules, I completely switched off. I come home and I'm like, okay, everyone, pretty much the science is we're all frequency, we're all something, and we just attract back the same frequency.
A lot of that stuff's really heavy. Like even in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, like the sciencey stuff, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's really like, and you know what I love Joe Dispenza. Some people find him super boring, but I think he's incredible. I love listening to his, you know, 2-hour podcast. He's a fantastic storyteller, and I'm always there for a good storyteller.
Yeah, he's great.
So even though he's probably complete left-brained, and he totally nerds out on the science, and I think his science, he talks too much about the science because people just get lost because he talks about the atoms breakdown and all that type of thing. It's like people don't want to care. They don't get it.
Because
just give me the good stuff. Tell me the stories and tell me how to get there.
Yeah, that's right. Like people can jump in a car and drive the car without understanding how the car works necessarily. Do you know what I mean? Like cars fucking work. You jump in, get behind the wheel and you drive. You don't have to understand the nitty gritty of the neurons firing in a certain way.
That's exactly. And he totally nerds out on all of that, which of course he does.
Yeah, he's trying to validate what he does, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people are still calling it woo-woo bullshit because like 100%.
Well, I just listened to a podcast with him. Just the other day I was listening to a podcast with Joe Dispenza, and he had another scientist, or, you know, as always, people in the public eye, he had another scientist, you know, completely dispute, you know, his findings. And he just, it still happens to Joe Dispenza of all people.
100%.
People going, no, what your findings are incorrect. I mean, it's like, wow. And he's Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
And people are going, that's incorrect.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's your favorite thing about what you do, about being a manifestation coach?
Oh, I love to serve, just no matter what. I love to serve. But the thing that I love specifically about being a manifestation coach is I love watching women's lives transform. I mean, because I work with women in this space. And the thing is, people will come to work with me and they'll be like, okay, I want to, you know, get my dream body, or I want to change jobs and find my purpose and passion. And once you start doing the work, your whole life changes. And whenever I start working with people in groups, I do group work, and say we're doing a 4-month course, I'll say to them at the very beginning, prepare for your whole life to change. Like, don't just think you're going to, attract a new job and a new career. Like, prepare for your whole life to change, because it really does. And that's the human behavior side of things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see how excited you are when you say that. You also mentioned doing the work, which is something that we talk a lot about in this podcast, and everyone has a different variation.
Yeah.
Therapists, we've had therapists, coaches, all different sorts of walks of life on the show. What does doing the work look like for you and your clients when you say doing the work?
Well, I mean, so back with The Secret, it was like, what you think is what you're going to attract, and then blah, blah, blah. Yes, that is step one. Step one is you need to have clarity. You need to know what you want. And then, step two, which we can go into later, is about the rewiring of the subconscious. But number 3 is doing the work, because I work with spirit and matter. So I work with systems and energetics, because if you're just working with spirit, then, you're in Nimbin, no shoes, smoking joints, like, oh, I'm just manifesting. Or if you're all systems, then, there's no fun in that either. So I work with spirit and matter. And so you need to have both. So doing the work is actually like pulling up your socks and doing the fucking work. Having a plan, executing the plan, doing it with conviction. If you want to do something and you need to go and study, get up at 5 a.m., make shit happen. You need to do the actual work. Yeah.
And so similar to the fitness industry, like people know that they should choose a salad over a burger, that they should wake up early and exercise and get their 10,000 steps and drink water instead of one. Why are people so stuck? Like, people know that they should be doing the work. What stops people from doing it? Why do people get stuck?
Great question. And this is actually, so I have a 4-step formula to manifesting, and this is actually step 2. It's the subconscious mind. So we are 95% unconscious thoughts. So when we really think about that, we're only 5% conscious. So 95% of our thoughts are unconscious. That's all our programming, our conditioning, our trauma, our childhood experiences. Everything is stored back there. And that is actually driving our life. So if we don't figure out what's behind there, then we are just going to continually be on a hamster wheel. Let me give you an example. So I've got a client, someone said to her when she was, I think, 6 or 7, another girl said to her, "You've got a fat stomach." Okay. So this client works with me. And she, her main goal, because I always say choose one big manifestation, or one or two. So one of her big manifestations was to really get her dream body. And she had a thing about her stomach, just constantly about her stomach. And you would never, ever think, if she walked past you, you'd be like, she's fit. You would, she had this thing around her stomach. And so we did a deep integration where I take them, deep into an integration and relax their body, and then their unconscious thoughts come forward. And it came through that this 7-year-old girl said to her, "You've got a fat stomach." So every time my client was on a path to try and attract her goal, she would then just pivot and stay back on this hamster wheel, because she had this unconscious thought that was driving her life. If you don't rewire those thoughts, then you are going to stay on a hamster wheel. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I love that. And it's about making the unconscious conscious, right?
100%.
So once we know, so one example of me struggling with that, so I had this message I was telling myself since I've become a single dad the last few years, my time feels like it's been cut in half. And so I've been running the excuse of I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to start this new project. Don't have time. So I had to really and I found journaling for me every day saying, you do have time. You just need to be more efficient. And just making my brain highlighting when I do have the time and how I need to be more productive with my time. What do you recommend for your clients? So once they are aware of that story or of something going on in their subconscious, how do they sort of get beyond that?
By the way, Joe Dispenza had the same limiting belief.
Don't have time?
Exactly the same. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
really?
have time.
Okay.
He had said that, I remember he was like, you know, he gets his to-do list from his assistant in the morning and he's just got tons on and he's like, I don't have time. And then he became conscious of that thought, which is what we do when you're in the field. You become conscious, and he completely rewired it. And then he changed it to, I have an abundance of time. Simple. You've got to just find what works for you. Like, I have an abundance of time. I have an abundance of time. And just slowly. But how to actually first uncover, just for the listeners, just so I'm really clear, just so people can take away something from this, you've got your goal. You need to be really clear on what that looks like and what that feels like, okay? Then when you think about so may I please use you as an
100%.
example? So give me your biggest goal right now. It's a manifestation, but we can say goal.
Biggest goal, like I said, I want to become a performance therapist, and I want to be working with CEOs, founders, businesses.
Love.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you think about that and you can see it and you can feel it and the whole thing, what comes up for you?
What comes up for me? It's like the time thing again. It's like, fuck, how do I manage being a dad?
Am I gonna be a
Podcast,
dad?
business.
How am I going to do
I'm
everything?
studying, like I said, I'm studying a master's as well. How can I fit this all in?
Okay.
Yeah.
How can I fit this in? How can I be a good dad? Yep. So all these things. So these are all the things that are holding you back. Okay. And these are the things that are going to keep you stuck. And so what you need to do is become conscious of what they are. So when you think about your goal, let all the shit come up, all those unconscious thoughts come up, get them out onto paper, write them down.
Yeah.
And then literally there's a few ways you can rewire. A really simple way is write it all down and then just write then the opposite to it. I have an abundance of time.
Yeah.
I can do anything that I've set my mind to doing. So writing down the opposite mantra and reading that mantra 3 to 5 times a day. And, it really works, especially in the morning when you're kind of still in that dreamy state.
That's when Joe Dispenza never says you should be meditating and manifesting that time.
In the morning and then overnight. So reading it, and also if you can write it as well, even like journaling it down. So that's a great way of rewiring as well. But also then finding evidence in your life where you do have time, or where you've created something. Maybe you've had more going on, maybe when you were going through the separation and everything was a shit show, and you probably created the podcast. So finding evidence where even if your life is busy, you can still make shit happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a big John DeMartini one.
Yeah.
The opposite.
Yeah.
I saw a new therapist last week, and she had she said something to me that was quite revelationary. She was like, think of your highest level self. And she was very detailed. She's like, what does he do every morning? What does his day look like? How does he act? How does he think? So I've been working on that. I'm working on building out this document that I read all the time. So I guess similar to manifestation, but like trying to behave like this new identity. Like I said,
It's
before,
creating a new
higher level
identity.
self.
Because the Geoff that's sitting here today is not going to be the Geoff that is serving and working for these CEOs, and helping them.
Yeah.
And supporting them. You're going to be a completely different person. You're going to talk differently. You're probably going to dress differently.
Yeah.
You're going to act differently. So it's like every single day when you wake up, it's think of yourself as that person. How does that person present themselves in this world?
Yeah.
How do they speak? Who do they hang around? How do they nourish their body? Every single thing. And you need to show up as that person every single day, because also this is another like part of step 2. It's rewiring the unconscious, to go, this is real. This is who I am. I already am it. It just hasn't shown up in the physical, but I already am. It's like me. I want to be on stage like Gabby Bernstein, speaking and serving thousands of people. And it's like every single day I wake up and I'm like, that's already me. And I embody that person every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because John DeMartini's thing, I think his manifestation thing was, I am an international speaker, way before. And he used to tell people, introduce himself as an international speaker well before he became an international speaker.
Yeah.
Which I love.
And I really had to catch myself with that one as well, because, you know, I've been, you know, serving women in my manifestation practice for a few years. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I wanted to be a speaker. And so I stopped saying I'm going to be a speaker. And then I am a speaker.
Yeah.
So I introduce myself now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a manifestation speaker. Yes, I've got my practice and, you know, I've got programs and all this type of stuff and I run events and all that. But no, I'm a manifestation speaker.
And Nerida said something amazing. You know, she said you have to tell your brain something new 400 times before it actually believes it. So
yes.
that's not actually as many as you'd think. So that's like 400 repetitions of saying, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. You can get that done pretty quickly. You know?
You'll actually find things will shift pretty quickly. I know maybe must have been about 6 months ago, I was doing the money module in one of my programs with my clients. And, you know, it's funny when you're teaching something, you're like, oh, fuck, I need to sort my shit out there. So we were doing the money module and I kind of realized, I was like, oh, I don't really respect my money. So I created this new mantra, I respect all of my money. And, you know, and when I create a mantra, I'm like, you know, I respect all of my money. It's on Post-it notes in my office, on my bedside, on my mirror. And, you know, I respect all my money. I respect all my money. And the way then that I started showing up to money, I started thinking, hold on, do I really need that 100th pair of the shoes that all look the same? Do I really need to fly business class to Bali? It's only 6 hours. You'll be fucking right.
Yeah.
Like, do I really need to Uber Eats the shops 5 minutes up the road? Like, jump in the car or walk the dogs.
Yeah.
Like, I really started becoming conscious of my spending habits. And now it was funny because yesterday I was in my office and I was working and I was looking at my mantras on my Post-it notes. And I was like, I totally respect my money now. So things shift pretty quickly.
Yeah. You're probably quite experienced in shifting
Yeah,
things, so it probably
yeah.
helps a little bit being experienced in that.
Well, you've got to commit right and do the work.
Yeah.
So the work is I'm going to rewire my limiting beliefs. So my commitment is every single morning I'm going to read my mantras. I'm going to write them down. I'm going to put them up where I can actually fucking see them. And even you don't need to count the 400 times. I'm just going to do this, commit for 60 days, for 2 months. I'm going to read that mantra.
We can keep going. This is like your alarm going off. We'll cut that bit. So we're going to...
Always, whenever I do a podcast, there's always some big interruption.
You're bad luck with that one. I haven't had the doorbell go off once. Okay, so we're going to take a little pivot now and sort of talk a little bit more about your life in particular. So
yes.
I want to know about the hardest thing that you've ever been through and how you overcame that.
That's such a good question. I feel like I've been through heaps of hard things. I was having this conversation yesterday with my dear girlfriend of maybe 20 years. And she goes, I've just had a really shit 3 years. And I was like, some people were just put on this earth to just go through hard times and it makes you then who you become. And I'm one of those people. So I've gone through a fair few hard things. But one of the hardest things I've gone through is I lived in Lake Macquarie. I was married. I've been with my partner for 12 years. I had a thriving gym and community and, you know, I didn't have to worry about money. We had a beautiful home. We had the jet skis, the boats. We went on the cool holidays. Everything on the outside looked like she's got the perfect life, but I was just deeply unhappy. You know, I just kept there was just a calling inside of me that there was something more to life. You know what I mean? I'd outgrown my partner. I'd outgrown my business and I had to make but I let that sit. That, by the way, this was 2 years into no, this can't be right. I've got everything. What are you, crazy? You know, my head wasn't matching my heart. And making that decision to leave my husband, sell my gym, move to Sydney. I didn't know anyone. Leave every shiny toy behind. I literally left even my mum and my dogs. I left my dogs with my mum. But I literally packed my car with my clothes. That's it. And I moved to Sydney with no idea with what I was going to do. But I was like, I'm definitely not going to own another gym. I'm done with that. But that was the hardest decision, leaving my husband because he was like my best friend, and then selling my business.
Yeah.
Because it was like just, for me, my purpose and passion.
And how did you make that decision? Because again, like if someone asked me what's the hardest thing I've been through, I'd probably say it was my divorce. My relationship was probably well and truly over and dead, but it was more, the kids involved. But again, I stewed on that decision like you for years.
Years.
It was like a part of me that I knew in my gut something wasn't right. But as a male as well, I was really good at just suppressing negative feelings. I never let myself actually go.
Texas ages, huh?
Yeah, correct. So my intuition, I just kept pushing it away. It was screaming for me to get out. And I just kept for years pushing it away. So how did you make that final decision? You were just in so much pain that you just knew you had to go, or what?
Okay, I'm quite spiritual. So I feel like I very much believe in the angels. And so I knew how I was feeling, and I kept losing my voice. And the somatic reason for losing your voice is, you're not speaking your truth. I kept losing my voice, like completely no voice at all. And so I knew that was coming up, and I knew what that somatic meant. Like, it meant that I wasn't speaking my truth. I was super angry. Like I even remember, like, this is so many years ago now. Gosh, this was a long time ago now. Maybe like 14 years, way longer. And I remember I was talking to my mum, and I was just so angry at her. Like, and I'm not an angry person. And I remember just being really angry and just deeply unhappy. And that grew bigger and stronger until I was like, okay, fucking universe, I hear you, I hear you, motherfuckers. I'm sorry, I swear. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing to my throat. I get what you're doing to me. I'm going to make the change. Because it was shifting me. It was like, bitch, we told you to move years ago. Let's go. Let's go to Sydney.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the universe, to be honest. It was the angels for me, like, really.
Yeah.
I know that's super spiritual.
Well, look where you are now. It's very brave, and you moved to Sydney, and look where you're at today. So
I know.
Everything worked out.
I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah. Tell me, what is your biggest source of inspiration in life?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Biggest source of inspiration, you know what? It's actually myself, because I get inspired through my goals. So my biggest source of inspiration is myself and my goals. Okay. Yeah.
And you get that inspiration from hitting your goals, or you're just saying you make a goal and you go towards it, and that's what gets you moving? And
my manifestations inspire the shit out of me, that I am just like all in on myself. So they inspire me that much. So then whatever the work is to get there, and whether that's, I then find inspiration through, people that are already doing it. But yeah, my first thing that inspires me is myself and my goals. And then I just do the work.
Okay. I love that. And so have you always been a confident person, or how did you used to have any limiting beliefs that you've overcome? Like, tell me more about that.
God, please. Don't we all have limiting beliefs?
Yeah. Just tell me about some of yours and how you overcome them.
I've got so many. I've always been a confident person. I'm a Gemini. So Geminis are very, naturally, we've got great communication skills and things like that. And I'm a people person. I love people. So I've always been confident, but my limiting beliefs is I had quite a traumatic childhood. So I have, low self-worth, and that's why I tend to date. I don't have the best, history with dating, because I tend to date men that reflect back to me my self-worth. So, limiting beliefs, around my self-worth that I definitely have. But then, when I think about, my goals, my limiting beliefs come up. So when I think about, being a speaker, all my shit came up. It was like, the goal's too big, that's not going to happen, you can't do it, you're not smart enough, because I've got this limiting belief because I was 14 when I left school. So I've always had this limiting belief, you're not smart enough. you know, all my shit come up, but I just rewire it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I feel like we've all got limiting beliefs. That's
Of course, it's just working on them every day, right? And
Yeah.
facing them, because they're never going to completely go away, right?
Well, you got to become you have to become aware of what's going on behind there. What's going on, like, you know, unconsciously that is driving your life.
Yeah.
And then rewiring it.
100%. Kind of like what we spoke about just earlier.
Totally.
So you mentioned angels before. I want to tell me more about spirituality and what it means to you. What does that word mean to you?
You know what? It's just having a beautiful faith. That there's a faith that there is something more than us.
Yeah.
And we are divinely guided. It's really basic for me.
Okay.
It's just, for me, the angels are inside of me. They're around me. They lead me. They guide me. And they just want the best for humanity. Okay. So it's really basic.
Okay. No, I love that.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your values. Do you have some particular values that you focus on and you think about? And is this something that you do with clients? I know values determination is a big part of DeMartini's thing, is really sorting out your values, and then they're like your North Star, right? So when you're clear on your values, he recommends choosing 3 values, and just like they help you decide everything you do within your life. Do you have values that you think very clearly about, or?
Well, it's funny because because I remember when I did that, I think about my values now, and they're very different from when I did the DeMartini. Now I think about it. My values now are discipline, because if you don't have discipline, like, where are you going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to get somewhere, you need to have discipline. And I'm not saying, like, you know, there's no fun in life or anything like that, but you need to have discipline. So discipline.
You know that Jocko Willink, is that his name? His quote is, discipline equals freedom. So you think discipline's very like closed in, but actually discipline gives you freedom.
Totally.
So it's the other end of the spectrum. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Because when you think of discipline, you're like, oh no, you know.
It sounds like you're not having a fun
unenjoyable.
life. Yeah, exactly.
It's not that at all. It's like just really going all in on yourself.
Yeah.
And just, So discipline, definitely. Growth. Just a huge one for me. Because without growth, where are we going?
Yeah.
And that's fine I just dated a guy who's got zero growth interest at all.
Hopefully he's not listening to this.
Oh, probably.
Well, if he doesn't like growth, he wouldn't be listening to it. So.
No, he probably will, just to check what I'm saying. But it's funny because I actually said to him, our values just don't align. And when I think about my values, it's so true, because one of my highest values is growth. Because where are we going if we don't want to grow? We are not meant to stay stagnant. We are meant to grow and evolve. And whatever we dream of, we can actually achieve it. You've just got to do the work to get there.
Yeah.
So growth, definitely, and honesty.
Okay.
Honesty with myself, that's first and foremost.
Yeah.
Because then that's how you show up, who you are, how you speak, and then honesty with, other people.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Tony Robbins' thing, I think, was, if you're not growing, you're dying. So, and humans need to feel like they're growing. Otherwise, they just feel
bored,
and stagnant.
dead.
You know what I mean? Like, people like want to be growing. It doesn't matter. It might look different. Some people might want to grow their business. Some people might want to grow a family. You just got to figure out what growth looks like for you, and you got to go for it, right? 2
of my biggest women that I look up to in the manifestation field, they're great, smart, manifestation. They've got like massive manifestation businesses. They're both American, these girls. And they both recently, because we've just gone through a huge identity, everyone's probably gone through identity shift with the eclipses, but they've just decided to step back from their business and just focus on being mums. So it's like, and
it's always evolving, it's always changing. Like
and that's growth for them.
Yeah, correct.
Because when I listen to them tell their story, that they're like, we're stepping down from our businesses, and because I just have a calling to be a mum, and I was like, how brave of those women to do that, because their identity always was, I'm a business owner, I'm serving and leading this beautiful space, and I want to just be a mum.
Yeah.
I just want to be a wife and a mum. And I thought it was really brave, but that's growth.
Yeah, it's a huge identity shift, right? Yeah.
Fucking massive.
Yeah.
Massive. So growth is huge. And you're right. It looks different for everyone.
So tell me, do you have any daily rituals for your mental and physical health? Obviously, you spoke about mantras 5 times a day. You obviously train. Is there anything that you do on a daily basis that you think is essential to being where you want to be?
Yes. And, you know, for anyone that's just starting out, you can hear someone, you know, like us that have been doing it for a long time and you're like, that's a lot of work, but you've really just got to start with one thing. But my daily routine is when I wake up in the morning, I lie in bed for at least 5-10 minutes and I visualize. So that's a huge Joe Dispenza, okay? That's really rewiring the neurons and, you know, rewiring those limiting beliefs. So then I'm really getting into the frequency of my dreams, okay? Because when you raise your frequency, the universe comes in and matches that frequency. So every morning I wake up and I lie in bed and I visualize my dreams. So always different, just whatever it is. And you only really need to do that for 3 minutes, but I just lie in bed for whatever. Then I always wake up, have a massive glass of water with probiotic, creatine, Barocca, Hydrolyte. And then I read my mantras. I train every day. I journal. I don't journal every night, but I journal when I need to journal. That's really about it. They're my kind of daily go-tos. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I think people can get carried away with the whole morning routine thing. They're like, I got to wake up at this time and do breath work and then meditate and go for a walk and get sun. Like people overcomplicate things a little bit too much. You know what I mean? So
I know. Mine's really simple. I visualize. I have my big glass of water with all my stuff in it to make me feel great. And then I work. And then I go to the gym later. And then I read my mantras throughout the day because they're just everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
And then if I feel like journaling, if I've got a whole bunch of stuff in my head that I need to get out, I'll journal it. That's really it for me. It's very basic.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, right?
It's actually as simple as you want to make it. I know. Because it's like, make sure you get outside within 20 minutes and you look at the...
Yeah, people listening to too much Huberman, trying to optimize everything and ice bath, and you got to be 13-minute ice bath at this temperature and you got to do it 3 times a day. It's just like, it's a lot. It's too much, people.
If that works for you,
correct.
That totally works for you.
Yeah.
But for me, yes, I'm all about simplicity.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell me, do you have any controversial opinions on the physical or mental health space?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, I mean, this is probably, not really, to be honest. I mean, in the fitness space, it's a little bit different. I mean, I've probably got a bit to say about the fitness industry, but... Not really.
Okay, nothing too controversial. Okay.
No, I don't think so. Controversial. Nah.
Okay. When was the last time you surprised yourself?
Oh, actually leaving this relationship a few weeks ago. Okay. Definitely. I came out of nowhere.
Okay. So you were happy and then one day you were just like, I'm out of here?
Yeah.
Okay, is that how...
I was happy and then I was in Europe and I wasn't happy and then I was like, oh my God, Sarah, I'm seeing things and how have I not seen these for a year? And then I got home and I was like, this is not in alignment with me at all, with my future, with my values, you know, yes, this isn't serving me.
So you're saying something the old Sarah might have just stayed
I
and
would have
pretend like it was all good?
Because he's not too bad, you know. I mean, he's not, you know, if my friends heard me say that, they'd be like, whack. He was terrible, but he wasn't too bad.
So a couple of red flags and...
Yeah, oh my God, my friends would honestly slap me if they heard me say that.
Okay.
They'd crack up. But I would have 1000% stayed because he was the best of the bunch that I've so far dated. I've had 3 serious relationships. I mean, and he was the best of the bunch out of the 3. But I really just goes to show how far I've come with my own journey. Because I would have stayed. Because I would have been like, oh, you know, the things that are good about him are really great.
Yeah.
You know, not drinking, not partying, you know, just like some really stable things. But yeah.
So tick some boxes, but not all the boxes.
Ticked very few boxes, like a couple
Very
of
few,
boxes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so not that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're out of that.
Yeah,
okay.
out of
That's
there.
good. So what do you like doing outside this sort of wellness space? Any hobbies, anything you like spending time doing?
I'm actually you know what? I'm a super homebody.
Yeah.
People think that I'm very social. I'm not
You
social.
strike me as an extrovert, like.
Oh my God, I'm at home. Like like I don't even really get asked out on social events anymore because the answer's always no.
Yeah, so
or I
just-
say
people
yes,
just stop
and then
asking
on
you.
the day I'm like, I really don't want to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't like committing. I'm like, ask me on the day, and then I'll decide. Then like
I go yes because I'm like, that sounds great.
So my instant thing is always just no, and then like if I want to go, I'll sort of decide on the day. So you need to change that for you, I think.
My friends are used to me though.
Okay, so they get
they're
it.
so cool because they know what I'm like.
Okay.
They've like known me for. One of my friends is like, she always does this. Like they're so fine with me because I'm always like, that sounds amazing. Put me in, and then it gets to the date, and I'm like, I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just want to be home.
Yeah.
So I'm a massive homebody. You'll just find me at home.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of just pottering about, reading, watching some TV. I love to work and create. When I say work, I mean create.
Yeah.
I love taking my dogs to the beach or I'm at the beach.
Yeah.
And I don't mind socializing at the beach.
Yeah,
Like, I
okay.
don't mind. I love being at the beach with my friends. Like,
Yeah.
love. If you want to hang out with me, let's go to the beach.
Okay.
But hobbies for me really is I love to train. I love to go to the beach. Every blue moon, I'll like to go out for dinner.
Okay.
But, you know, I like to go on holidays and try new things and experience different countries. But I'm quite just a very simple girl.
Simple girl. This is a little bit of a silly one, but I want to know if you could have a drink with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? And I also want to know what you're drinking.
Oh, yeah. Well, not alcohol. I would have a coffee.
Okay.
Elizabeth Gilbert. Do you know Elizabeth?
Is she the Eat, Pray, Love girl? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're like one of maybe the second guest who has said Elizabeth Gilbert. I think one of our early guests said that they would love to. But tell me more about her. I have not read.
Not really because of the Eat, Pray, Love, because I've watched that movie 10,000 times because I feel like that is totally my life.
Okay.
She's just written a new book called Walk Me to the River. I think I may have got that title wrong.
She came up on my Instagram the other day. She's an ex-addict, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, not narcotics, even though she completely did drugs and alcohol and everything. She was like a love
Sex and
addiction.
love addict.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really just resonate. So I bought the book.
Yeah.
I just really resonate with a lot of her story. The Eat, Pray, Love, I feel like that was totally me, like on my own spiritual journey and through relationships and finding myself and coming out of that 12 years relationship. I feel as though she is an incredibly wise woman, but when I listen to her or watch her on YouTube or podcasts, she's so chilled as well. You know, like
She
just
seems so wise when I saw this clip. She
she's
just seems like she's a woman with a lot of wisdom.
But she'll tell you how fucked she is as well. Like that's what I love about her. Like she, you know, she'll be sitting across from Oprah and she's like, listen, like saying, you know, I did drugs and I'm a mess and like, and she's Elizabeth Gilbert.
Yeah.
You know?
Was she on Oprah? Because it was her and Oprah, the clip I saw. So was that something recent or?
Yes, because she just promoted her new book.
Gotcha.
So she's just written this new book, which is an autobiography of her, not an autobiography. So it's, she's written about her life over the last few years.
Yeah.
So it's like another Eat, Pray, Love, but for her life over the last few years.
Okay.
And but she gives really amazing stats as well, which I love a good stats. Like she gives stats on relationships and women in relationships. Do you want me to tell you that? Because it's really fascinating.
Yeah, let's go.
They did a study, and she talks about all of it. They did a study and they say women are more likely to commit suicide, have depression, have no money, be overweight, be unhappy when they're married.
Oh, I've heard a lot about this recently. Men thrive more in relationships and women actually suffer terribly. So, yeah.
And women that are single have more money, have more happiness, are healthier, have like less diseases, like it just
I can't remember where I heard this because
live longer.
Yeah, because even so, say there's financially successful women in a relationship with a financially successful male, the women will suppress more of her needs generally to become the caretaker of the family.
Of course.
And like you said, it drives down happiness levels, all that sort of stuff. So it's interesting you said that because I had heard that. I can't remember where I'd heard that, but I've been hearing that recently.
Yeah, she put all the stats out.
I think it's probably on social media because it's this sort of like girl power era of like, do you even really need a man type thing? So
yeah,
there's a lot of that at the moment, I think, on social media.
I think that's so conflicted as well, this whole girl power. We're saying we live in an era where, I mean, this is
We
a
can do it all
completely
ourselves, yeah.
different subject, but we say we live in an era where it's like the Me Too movement, but then, you know, look at, you know, porn and look at how we treat women on social media and look how women show up on social media and OnlyFans. And, you know, we've completely normalized, you know, how women are treated.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a different subject. But yes, so definitely Elizabeth Gilbert, because I think, you know, I'm from the Central Coast, so I look nice and shiny on the outside, but I'm just a girl from the coast on the inside.
Shoes were off, sitting on the couch.
I'm very chilled. And I think she's the same. I would just love to just ask her questions about her life and what she knows, and because she's incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
And then my second, can I please have two?
Yeah, let's do it. You're the first guest who has had two, but let's go.
Oh, that's the Gemini in me.
Oh, duality.
Yeah.
Actually, someone chose someone dead and someone alive, I think, but we'll see. I'll check that for
They're
you.
both alive.
That's
Oprah
fine.
Winfrey.
You like Oprah?
I love her. I think she's like, well, you know, Oprah come from a history of slaves, black slaves.
Yeah.
You know, and then they were maids. Sorry, not slaves. They were probably back in the generation, but they were maids. Her grandmother was a maid.
Yeah.
Everyone was a maid. So that's
She broke the mold big time.
yes.
And then some, hammered the mold.
Yes. Like, you know, I just love Oprah's story. And I just think I would just love to just ask her questions,
Yeah.
you know. The questions that you're asking me, I would love to ask her.
Yeah.
Because even sometimes when I'm speaking to someone that's much older than me, I'll say to them, what advice would you give someone about relationships? Or I just like to, you know, people that are really wise and been through things, ask them what they think.
100%.
It's like when you go to a restaurant, this is always me, and the server comes over and they say, what would you like to eat? And I always say, what do you recommend?
Yeah.
Because they know.
Yeah. With age comes wisdom, right?
Because people go, why do you ask them? Just choose what you want. And I'm like, dude, they know
They've been
what's
through the menu a
fucking
million
popular.
times. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for me, I would just like to ask Oprah some just questions and just,
Yeah. There's an awesome Oprah story. Do you know Brené Brown? Oh my God. Love Brené Brown. So Brené Brown tells this story, and this is the story like we're always wanting approval. Like even Oprah Winfrey, I think Brené Brown tells this story. She was on the Oprah show, or like maybe she had Brené on one of her podcasts or something. And afterwards, Oprah was like, "Was that okay? Like, did I do it?" Like she was like this fucking Oprah Winfrey, and she's not just some bitch who thinks she does everything. She was like still like, "Was that okay? Was that okay? Like, was that all right?" Like, so we never almost imposter syndrome. We're always, you know, wanting to seek approval, even though people on the top of their game, they're still just trying their best and still just kind of faking until they make it.
I know. But it's so humbling, isn't it?
Totally. It's great to hear that.
It's so humbling. You know, I love Brené Brown. She's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't.
These incredible people that are just changing the world.
Yeah, I haven't listened to a lot of Brené Brown or seen a lot of her stuff recently, but I was really into her a long time ago. Maybe she's going to be quiet. Maybe I need to look in and check in on her.
What she's doing.
See if she's okay.
No, she must be researching, because she said when she researches, she just goes into a hole.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
like,
for a
and
new
she
book or
doesn't
something.
come out. She's got it like her office in her house, and she said she literally will just be in like a whole researching.
Yeah, okay. She's amazing. She has some really amazing stuff on parenting as well, which I love too.
Give me the best thing that you've heard.
Oh, I need to try to remember it. I think it was about like home needs to be a safe space, right? And so she was saying if you're in a family and the older sister is like calling the younger sister an ugly bitch or whatever, you have to really like stamp that out, because home is a place where you can be yourself and you can take the mask off and it's a safe space. And she taught me, say you're tickling or fighting with the girls and they're like, stop. Like, you need to stop when they say stop, right? Where like as a playful dad, I kind of want to keep going, keep ticking. But like when they say stop, it's like you are safe here, and when you want things to stop, we stop, right? And if one of my daughters is picking on the other, it's like and she's saying stop. We need to we treat each other with respect in this household, and you can be yourself. And when one person doesn't like something, we stop doing that. So I'm really trying to hammer that home with my two girls.
I love that. I've been trying to teach my son about boundaries, which is very hard because he only just turned 7.
For a 7-year-old boy, yeah.
I mean, well, he only just turned 7 too, by the way, like a few days ago. But I was trying to teach him about boundaries.
I was thinking I'm 37 and I'm just sort of
Me
learning
too,
that boundaries,
but this
you
is
know?
why I'm trying to teach him now.
Yeah.
Because I wish I learnt when I was a kid.
Totally. I think the
because-
younger generation's in good hands with all the stuff going on in the world. Like,
because his dad makes him eat all his food. And I said, listen, you need to say to your dad, he's a great dad, but I said, you need to say to him, hey, like I'm full.
Yeah.
I said, because remember, baby, it's a boundary. Like, remember a boundary? It's if you don't want to do something, you actually don't have to do it, you know, because that's your decision, you know.
it's so funny you say that because I think my generation and like our parents' generation is even worse. Like you have to eat everything on your plate. Like my grandma used to be like eat, and I still have this like,
yes,
I still try to hoover every bit of food, and I'm like, whoa, like you're full. Like, what are you doing? So I still have to be aware. I'm trying to rewire that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to teach my daughters because Daddy, I ate everything on my plate. How is this? And I'm trying to be like, you don't have to always eat everything on your plate.
Full, babe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because then they're just eating for the sake of eating to finish the plate. So that's something that needs to change.
Yeah, I mean that's never been a thing for me. I didn't grow up like that, so but I see it all the time, and especially with men.
Yeah,
you know. But anyway, he has to eat all of his food, and it drives me crazy because I know that he's like me. You know, when he's done, he's done.
Yeah,
he's a bit of a snacker like me. You know, then we'll eat half an hour later.
Okay,
we're those people, but so I don't know how we got on that tangent.
You're a bit of a grazer. Me neither. But tell me, Sarah, how do you deal with setbacks when they come up in your life?
Oh my gosh. Well, setbacks are really like there to put you in a different direction.
Yeah.
So it just depends what it is, really.
Okay.
Maybe.
I guess what you're saying is like a challenge can be seen as either a speed bump or like a rerouting, right?
Yeah.
So
I just went through an 18-month litigation. That was a bit of a setback.
I'm sure that was fun.
Well, I mean, it cost a deposit for a Sydney house, that's for sure.
Jesus Christ.
So that was
and just the mental
setback.
bandwidth, I'm sure you would have dealt with that as well.
Yeah, because it's the uncertainty. I went in to fight for what's fair, but you don't know if you're going to win.
Yeah.
And so that was a little bit of I mean, I actually don't really think anything's a setback because it's a redirection for me.
Okay.
Don't you think?
That's a good way to reframe it,
because everything's putting you on a path to grow, expand, and evolve.
Yeah.
So even I say to my clients, you have a goal and they're like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to make the right decision. There's no wrong decisions, you know, because everything's leading you to where you need to be. And it might not directly be that path, but that path is going to then redirect you to that path. So,
and I love John DeMartini's. He really got me thinking on the duality of life and how like you might perceive that there's more positives and negatives with one thing happening to you versus the other, but he really hammers home like you can find positives in every situation, but then you can also find negatives in every situation. So don't think there's all positive versus all negative.
there's duality in everything,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like everything. It was like when I got home from Italy and everyone was like, oh my God, did you have the best trip? It looked amazing on your Instagram because, of course, you only post your great photos on Instagram. And to the people that I'm close with or the people that get it, I was like, there was duality in the trip. And that's literally how I framed it. I was like, there was duality in the trip. You know, I was in Italy. I was on a 3-week holiday. The weather was stunning. The water was beautiful. It was super relaxing. But then it had this other side where I got to see, you know, things for how they really are.
Yeah. And
so I literally that.
Yeah,
There's duality in everything.
Yeah. So nothing like a 3-week holiday to get to know the real someone, right?
Back in their hometown, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Back in their country, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me, what is something that you couldn't live without?
Great question. What's something that I couldn't live without? You know, actually, I couldn't live without the sun or the beach.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't imagine a life without the sun. I mean, I even just love to sit in the sun, but if I could have both, the sun and the beach.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
We're so lucky in Sydney, aren't we? Oh. And I'm sure you go to you're in Italy and you see all these beautiful beaches, but you're like, Sydney beaches are still probably better than most of these beaches, right?
I don't know, something about swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then lying in the sun. But even, you know, when I take my dogs out for a walk at home, I live in Roselle, and just sitting down and just having that sun hit your face. There's nothing beats sun or like swimming in the ocean.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so cleansing.
100%. I need to be near the beach.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given? And bonus points if you remember who it was from.
This is tough. This is a tough question. You know, it's probably not, someone didn't give it to me directly. It was Oprah Winfrey. So she gave it to everyone. And it was, oh my gosh, it would have been about 15 years ago I heard this. She did a YouTube clip. And she said, when you're on the right path, things will just fall into place. And I even remember how she said it. She's like, things just fall into place. And, you know, you're on this beautiful frequency and everything feels nice and smooth and doors are just opening and things like that. She said, but when you're on the wrong path, things are sticky. They're like not working. It's just like really sticky and not flowing and it feels icky. And I'll just never forget that. And it's advice that I tell my clients, you know, you'll know when you're on the right path because it just feels right. It's flowing. It feels good. Doors are opening. Opportunities are arising. Yeah. And
I don't mean to bring up Dan Martini 1,000 times in one episode, but he also says if you are in the right direction, challenges won't feel as much as challenges. Yeah. They won't feel like they'll feel like I can get through this if I just keep pushing, right? So as long as you're heading in the right direction.
Because, I mean, everything's going to be work. Everything has its challenges. Yeah.
So tell me, Sarah, if you could give some advice to your 18-year-old self, younger version, or any younger version of yourself, but if you could give advice to your 18-year-old self, what would that advice be?
Oh, this is a good one. I love this question. And it would be to heal my inner child wounds, like now. Start now. Because if I start now, I'm going to have different relationships with men because I am going to know my worth. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm not going to party as hard as what I partied because I also know my worth and I'm not, you know, avoiding pain. So, yeah, heal my inner child now.
Okay.
Start anyway, because, I mean, you can't just heal it and then it's done.
Yeah.
Just start becoming aware and doing the work. And also, and this is another Oprah Winfrey. It's funny how when you listen to things, they stay in your mind.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey said this 1,000 years ago. But she said, when people show you who they are from the very beginning, believe them. Yeah. And, yeah, I think we put our rose-coloured glasses on.
I've had issues in relationships where women are telling me I'm XYZ and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like we can, I'll change that. Like I'm a bit of a fixer. So I've definitely had that issue as well with girls giving me red flag warnings of I'm this, I'm not great at relationships, I'm blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, I'm totally, when someone shows you who they are, because people can say they're a certain way, but when someone shows you who they are,
no, they show you.
100%.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's even, you know, like reflecting upon the question, it's even, not even in relationships. I even think about, you know, when I've hired staff and, you know, people have shown me who they really are and I've kept them on because it's like, oh,
it's
no, but
easy.
they're good.
Yeah.
They're good with these other things. And then you start to get, oh, it's hard to get good staff and they're great with these things, but they're really just a shit fucking human.
Yeah.
And they showed me that they were a shit human from the very beginning because there is just shit people out there.
Yeah.
And
what do they say? They're higher fast, fire slow. Oh, sorry, opposite. Higher slow. Higher fast, fire slow.
Yes. Yeah. But, so, yeah, when people show you who they are from the beginning, believe it.
Okay. And this is a very big question for like us supposedly wrapping it up after an hour of the podcast, but how do we heal our inner child?
Oh, yeah. First, becoming aware of everything that's going on in there. You know, I mean, I think it's just a little bit, I feel like this is a whole nother episode.
Yeah,
but
a 2-part series.
It's really just kind of being still and getting into your body and just a bit, I mean, you're got to be willing to go deep and you've got to be willing to feel the feels.
Yeah.
Because when you bring up that inner child or whatever comes through, there's going to be some emotion, some heavy emotion.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, I feel like that's a really hard Question to answer just so quickly, but you've got to be ready to feel.
Yeah, don't run away from it, which is what we all do,
Yeah.
scrolling, drinking, drugs. There's so many distractions that we can utilize today to avoid the feeling part,
But really briefly, I could just human behavior it. So it's like sitting there, just getting into your body, letting your nervous system, rest. So deep breaths, for 90 seconds or so, getting into your body and then just going, how am I feeling? How old does this part of me feel? And then, and say it's your 5. For me, I'm always 5. Whenever my shit comes through, I'm like 5 and I'm unworthy and I'm lovable. And seeing me as a 5-year-old and going in now, as a person I am now, going in and giving her having a conversation with her. Hey, what do you need?
Yeah, reparenting yourself essentially, right?
Totally, yeah. Like, what do you need? And let me show you how amazing you are. Let me show you what you've achieved.
Yeah.
And I've got you. And actually, and then just kind of, but always kind of integrating that part. But Elizabeth, I got this most amazing affirmation that I'm doing at the moment. And I got it from Elizabeth Gilbert, but it just really resonates with me when I'm healing my inner child. I will never leave you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone, right? I will never leave you.
I just I love that. I've got it. It's everywhere. It's in my house.
Yeah.
I will never leave you.
Okay.
And when people come over, they're like, what's this? Why have you got it posted on your bathroom mirror that says, I will never leave you?
I love
and they're
it.
like, that's so weird.
Yeah. Oh, well. So you got it everywhere around the house.
Because I am working on my self-worth.
Yeah.
Because I've realized I had a pattern with men, which was really just a mirror to show me what I'm still lacking.
Yeah.
Or what needs healing. I shouldn't say lacking, what needs healing.
Yeah.
And it was my inner child. It was my 5-year-old. So that I will never leave you is me kind of healing that 5-year-old that felt unloved and unworthy.
Yeah.
So then the Sarah can have amazing relationships because she knows what she's worth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm mindful of the time. We've gone over the hour mark.
Always when I do podcasts.
Had such a great conversation with you.
Thank you.
If people want to hear more about what you do,
Yes.
follow you on social media, how can they do that?
Yeah, follow me on socials. I'm just about to drop a couple of phenomenal programs as well. So Sarah, but with no H, SARA _McNelis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asterisk on the no H, okay?
No
She does
H.
not like that H.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Is there any other final message you want to leave the people with?
Nah,
Okay.
just follow your dreams.
Okay. We'll have you back on the show sometime soon, 100%. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. It's been a pleasure to meet
Thank
you
you so
and chat
much.
with you.
I'm so grateful.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you got anything out of the episode, be sure to share it with a friend, rate us on iTunes and Spotify because it obviously helps us reach more people. And thank you so much for listening this far. We will see you next time. Peace out.